Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar, un lugar para trabajar, y si no hay pues emigrar. Todo money, money, todo el dinero. Solo un par de gente se lleva el botín entero. Funny, funny, pasa verdadero. Si tienen lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero llegaremos antes o después. Solo a lo suyo, que Dios te lo ve. Que por más que tarde lo veré caer. Somos más lo bueno y tenemos fe. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo fue. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Con dinero. Money work. Yo digo las cosas como son. No quiero ninguna aceptación. Tampoco vengo a pedir perdón, porque mis sentimientos se volvieron la canción, yeah. No me vale mucho como tú me ves. Sabes, tú me llegas solo a los pies. Para mí ser grande es un interés. Ser un buen humano para mí es un deber. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo fue. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero, Money work. Se arregla con dinero, Money work. De corazón, la plata no te hace ser feliz. De corazón, de corazón. No te hace ser feliz. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Yeah, 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 yeah. Money work. Money work. Money work. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Lunes. Lunático. Hello, my name is Edgar Brown, and the video name of this topic is Stay Away from Single Fathers.
Like that.
Now, this may
All right, let's get this party started. Let's listen to see what this dude has to say. In my opinion, you got them slow eyes, but maybe he's smart. Never know. Let's see. Let's go.
piss some single fathers off, but I could care less. I made videos about staying away from single moms, but now I'm going to do something different. Now, to all the women out there who have no children, I would advise that if you want to date someone who, has more time and maybe more resources for you, then I suggest that you don't date a single father. Single fathers, just like single mothers, in my opinion, are pretty much the bottom of the barrel as far as dating wise. Now, the thing
So
about
I assume that he doesn't have any kids. This is what you call, well, let me badmouth a certain group of people and not be like them to seem like I'm better than them or whatever. He doesn't seem like he's really doing that well himself, to be honest with you. He's sitting in his bed, lying down in his bed. He's not the best looking dude. We can all see that, but that's not the big deal. I mean, it's not looks, but you could tell that, he's a little bit slow. So let's give him a break. Here we go.
it is, though, when you date a single father, there's always that chance that you may have to put up with, baby mama drama.
He can't even remember what he's saying, but that's okay. Jackie Gaines in the house, Angela Reddick in the house, everybody up in the clouds. I know this is kind of like a last minute live stream, but why not? You know what I mean? And we got a great show tomorrow. We got Wookiees, Ways, and the dudes who love them, and the modern men who love them. So definitely check out tomorrow's show. Tonight's show, it's all about how they roll up in packs. I tried to tell everybody a long time ago. I remember when the Diddy thing kicked out. I told everybody, go look, Jay Z's next. No, he can't be next. He can't be next. No way, no way, no way. He can't be next. He next. They're rolling packs. One of my team told me that they rolling packs. Jay Z is tight with Diddy. What y'all think? They do all those things that tight men do, and it's funny to me that it just shows you that the down low culture is taking over. Because watch, we're gonna find out that Jay Z's the same way as Diddy. Goes both ways. So it's just how it is. I like to, that's just what's going on. Rich in the house. Good seeing you. Yeah. I was saying, Jay Z next. Jay Z's next. No way. Jay Z don't need him acting like that. Well, here we go. Well, let's listen to what this fella has to do now. Let me skip him. He's boring. He's kind of boring to me. Let's get in like this.
Prosecutors say not only is Sean Combs not entitled to bail, but essentially he shouldn't even get a hearing on this. And remember, Combs is currently in detention at the Metropolitan Detention Center out in Brooklyn, New York, after being denied bail by other judges. The main issues keeping him locked away are that the courts have held that the prosecutors have shown that he is a danger on the outside. He's a potential flight risk. Most notably was evidence put forward that he had been improperly contacting victims and witnesses in this.
Oh, yeah. That's the funny thing is when how somebody is a narcissist is when they really think they're smarter than everybody in the room, including judges that are experienced, including lawyers that are experienced. What made him think that they wouldn't know what he was doing? It's like, wait a minute. And he still wanted, freedom or whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? Gold reflection in the house. Gold reflect. Yeah, absolutely not surprised. I mean, exactly. I mean, it's just that way. So anyway, this is the funny thing is like all they had, number one, they could have just stopped doing what they were doing and they might have got away with it. Though they had been doing it for 30 years, they still had that chance, right? So anyway, yeah, it's just weird how they just keep committing crimes, but that's just the way some people are built. They're just built that way. They really are. They're really built to commit crimes. So you have to ask yourself, I mean, why did we make these men of everyone else role models? It's something we have to ask ourselves. You know? Let's keep it going. Here we go.
Case.
Diddy's legal troubles just hit a boiling point. His attorney has officially walked out of the courtroom, leaving everyone stunned as shocking new evidence against the music mogul comes to light.
Yeah, I heard his attorney walked. New evidence came in, right? And his attorney just said, F this, and walked out. That's what I heard. Now, that's probably because his attorney said, you need to tell me everything, blah, 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 right? And then Diddy didn't. He didn't tell him everything, and he lied straight to his lawyer's face. He can't help, Diddy can't help himself. That's just how he's built.
Let's break down what happened and why even his own lawyer couldn't stick around.
In the Sean Diddy Combs case have until today to give answers for how the music mogul has been communicating from jail.
Because my next guest just testified.
I will tell you this. Lawyers and the people that are legit legal people, they can't stand being lied to. They can't, it really makes them upset. It pisses them off, something awful. And his lawyer, I mean, see, Diddy thinks he can just pay the lawyer whatever, but sorry, lawyers, there's a license that has to be given. You know, they have a license they want to keep. And it also shows you that one, the lawyer probably has millions of dollars himself, and whatever Diddy pays him is probably not going to be enough. And two, his reputation is more important than, you know, getting money from somebody who's being slimy. Here we go.
Before a federal grand jury. He says he was in possession of a trove of digital evidence from Diddy's freak-offs and parties.
We made a bail appeal to Judge Carter. It did not go our way.
Sean Diddy Combs' attempt to secure bail has been significantly harmed by a leaked phone call between him and his son, Christian Combs, which revealed Diddy's involvement in witness tampering.
Folks out here, they love to tamper with witnesses. They really do. And they think they're going to get away with it. But witness tampering, I mean, and it's funny because what made Diddy think that nobody would find out? And I mean, Diddy's not, he might be a sociopath, but he's not stupid. What made him think he's going to get, I mean, I know he saw phone calls from prison, maybe not, but he's seen shows like that, right? Where they tell you, look, you know, you're being recorded. And you see where I'm coming from. Recordings, videos, emails, texts can all be used against you in the court of law. Let me keep it going. Here we go.
Prosecution presented this evidence, showing that Diddy continued unauthorized communications from jail, attempting to influence witnesses in his case.
And then still wants to get out on bail.
Despite court assurances that he wouldn't. This call, along with other instances of alleged manipulation, undermines his defense and raises serious concerns about his potential to disrupt the legal process if released.
The court has evaluated each of the
factors.
He
will. He will. He'll put himself in a worse situation because he's been doing this for so long that there's a long list of witnesses and there's a long list of victims. And there's a long list of victims who are witnesses. And there's a long list of witnesses who are victims. And there's a long list of snitches now because, for why not? So he's pretty screwed. It's not like in the back. See, back in the day, and I don't know why they did this back in the day, but they would let these gangsters out for some reason. Don't ask me why. And they would just cream all the witnesses and cream all the victims. And that would be that. They'd be let out. Now, finally, in the 2024s, finally the government got a little bit of, got a little smarter, and they know that they just can't do that. They know they can't do that. So they know that they can't allow that. Let's put it that way. Here we go.
That it must consider, under the relevant law, 1, nature and circumstances of the offense charged, 2, weight of the evidence against the person, 3, history and characteristics of the person, and 4, nature and seriousness of the danger that would be posed by the person's release. And it also says that the court has also reviewed the information submitted by Combs and the government across all 3 bail hearings in this case. As you remember, Sean Combs was denied bail both by a magistrate judge and a district court judge. Judge Subramanian writes, the court finds that the government has shown by clear and convincing evidence, so that's the standard, that no condition or combination of conditions will reasonably assure the safety of the community. In support of this finding,
Jackie Gaines said, get the likes up, y'all. Get the likes up. Let's get this going. Here we go.
The court provides the following reason.
Diddy is urgently trying to secure his release, offering a $50 million bail package in exchange for freedom. Despite submitting his and his family's passports to the court, suspicions about a possible second passport have led the judge to deny his release. With witness testimony looming, Diddy knows that once the witnesses speak out, his chances of freedom will be slim. Diddy's legal team faced a setback when his bail was denied for the 3rd time following the revelation of witness tampering. Call records from the Metropolitan Detention Center showed Diddy not only attempted to directly contact witnesses but also sought to use others outside of prison to influence them. The judge, citing concerns about Diddy's potential danger to the public and witnesses, concluded that he posed a serious threat, leading to the denial of bail.
His team has said, we're going to put together the proposed bail package. A $50 million bond, co-signed by him, his mom, and his sister, the mother of his oldest...
Him, his mom, and his sister. So there's all this. This brings us back to this BS that they say in the manosphere about how men are good leaders. Well, obviously, Diddy is not. And how men have all the money and well, no, and this black men have all the money because men do have, except for black men, a lot of men have a lot of money. But anyway, back to this. Basically, should be the leaders of the family and stuff like this. And Diddy's a perfect example that really counterbalances and is a very good retort towards any of that Kevin Samuels crap. He is like, he's literally, if somebody goes, oh yeah, Kevin Samuels said that, black women have no control and black women are, they're not fit, feminine, friendly, and submissive. All you got to do is say, how about Diddy? And then just drop your mic. Is that your role model? Diddy? Let's keep it going.
Daughter and his 3 adult sons. It's going to be secured by the equity in his property in Miami, Florida. Home detention. His passport will be surrendered. The government said that's insufficient. They said, look at the charges, look at the weight of the evidence that I just mentioned. They said they have allegations that he and his associates were trying to tamper with witness testimony last year so that they wouldn't cooperate with the government. What do you take away about who has a stronger argument in terms of bail?
Well, I think his counsel has done the best they possibly can. I think bringing him there voluntarily is very smart, starts them out on the right foot. But I think the last thing that you just mentioned, the interfering with witnesses,
That's the allegation, yeah.
Yeah, if that.
Yeah, see, interfering with witnesses, that courts don't like that at all. They don't like it in criminal cases and they don't like it in civil cases. If they feel like you manipulated or tried to manipulate potential witnesses or victims, you have already put yourself in a deep hole. Literally, if that's the situation that you are in, basically the other side will probably just sit back, relax, and have you have a conversation with the judge and try to explain yourself out of why you tampered with witnesses. That's what the issue that Diddy has in front of him. And I guarantee you, Jay Z will do the same thing.
True, or I should say, if there's real indicia that happened, I think that might tip the scales in favor of not letting him out pending trial, because I think, and you know this, I think judges take an extraordinarily dim view of that, and that might be the factor that tips the scale again.
In a dramatic twist, Diddy's legal situation has taken a sharp turn for the worse. His attorney, who had been representing him for months, abruptly walked away during court proceedings.
I mean, that's a big deal when your lawyer just freaking walks out of a court proceeding. You know he was heated. You know he was. If he walked out on all that money, oh man, listen.
Reports suggest the lawyer lost faith in both the case and in Diddy himself, further complicating the music mogul's battle in court. This development adds to the mounting pressure Diddy is facing as his legal troubles intensify.
Why is that not a fair outcome?
What he did here is on a magnitude of unlike anybody else you could imagine.
In an explosive twist on October 23rd, a prison call recording surfaced, allegedly featuring Diddy advising one of his sons to get rid of pizza boxes. This incident has sparked intense speculation and added fuel to the ongoing legal drama surrounding Diddy, suggesting further attempts to conceal evidence or manipulate situations.
They really should put his sons in jail too, really, quite honestly. Trying to be slick, trying to play in people's face. That's what he's got to know that they were going to record him.
Amid the charges he faces.
Do not entertain none of this nonsense and nothing over the phone. I'm gonna need you to get rid of all the leftover pizza boxes. The what? All the boxes left over from the pizza.
Ain't that some shit?
Okay.
Things have taken a turn for the worse for Diddy as evidence continues to flood in, with more individuals.
I guarantee you not. There's at least 2 agents on each of his brothers. I mean, each of his sons. They're being watched by a hawk, because why would you not want to stop potential crimes, which could be violent crimes? You know, that's basically what I'm thinking. He's thinking like a street thug. That's what Diddy is thinking like. That's how if you really want to know how he's thinking like a street thug. He basically thinks he can fool seasoned agents. That's what he thinks. He really does.
Forward to share their experiences involving the music mogul. Meanwhile, the accuser's lawyer has expressed confidence that Diddy's chances of avoiding a life sentence are slim to none, intensifying the pressure surrounding his case.
But I have all the confidence in the world and the federal court in the state of New York that they will remain keeping Diddy under no bond, and that all of the victims in this case will be able.
Bye, dude. Have a good one. I mean, great music. You made great music, bro. But you are a freaking monster. There's no way. I mean, if every black man in the United States, we should be denouncing this man. Well, unless you do the same shit he does. I mean, this is really this. Remember the saying, well, this probably set us back, 50 years and whatever like that. Remember when all those men were complaining about Sexy Red and all those other women? Well, all you got to do is when it's Sexy Red, she's ruining it for our community. But Diddy, then they should just shut the fuck up. after you just say one word, Diddy. Oh, um, 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 uh, um, 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 you need to respect me. You need to respect me. Nicki Minaj, Diddy. So what do you got? I got the Diddy card. That's all you got to tell these dudes. I got the Diddy card. What do you got that can beat it? I got over here, I got dudes, who be using, drugged baby oil. I got baby oil on over here. You got, oh, sorry, I was imitating another content creator. Steadabo. Anyway, we got drinks, that are, the same thing that the Passport Bros were going through, where they're getting drugged, up in Colombia. Diddy brought that to America, but he did it to women and men. He should just call it a day. Here we go.
Proceed.
The prosecutor revealed key details about what led to Diddy's indictment, including the evidence found during a search of his home. This evidence, coupled with growing accusations, has strengthened the case against him, leading to increased confidence from the accuser's lawyer. Meanwhile, the sudden departure of Diddy's own lawyer reflects the mounting pressure and the weight of the evidence against him, which is stacking up quickly.
During those searches, agents seized evidence of the crimes charged in this indictment. They seized firearms and ammunition, including...
Let me pause that right there, because I think we already went over that. But anyway, that was just a recap with Diddy. I mean, let's break it down. We're going to break it down to the get down. Yes. With the one, the only. Cynthia G. Wait. Let me redo that. Okay. Hold on one second. I'm trying to refresh this screen here. Get rid of these squiggly lines. Nobody likes the squigs. Oh, well. Okay. Here we go.
Some content for Patreon. So
let me go back a little bit. We got to give Cynthia G her due, okay? So I'm gonna let this rock right here for a minute.
Happy Monday to y'all. Nobody really says happy Monday because people don't like when the beginning of the work week starts. So most people are happy about Wednesday and not Monday because they know that they're nearly done with the week.
Okay, hold on one second, y'all. I got to do some more work over here real quick. Give me a second. Copy that. Paste and go. There we go. That's better.
Can y'all hear? I'll get another lawsuit, and it was involving a 13-year-old girl. When we read over it, and we're going to read over it again, I'm going to put a lot of stuff together leading up to this. When we went over it, we know there was an unnamed celebrity couple, male and female, and they said that they were huge. The celebrity couple was huge. The woman, I think particularly, they said was extremely big. When we were reading over it, I know that a few of us said that Jay Z came to mind.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
We know that Jay Z came to mind last time we were talking about this. So let me share the screen just so I can go over what we were talking about.
Yeah, don't forget to like and share the video. Don't forget to like and share. At least like. Here we go.
There's a lot of responses, you guys, and I'm just going to go over some of this stuff. There's a lot of responses to this. When I say that the internet is in shambles, the internet is in shambles. Celebrities are in shambles. And listen, I'm going to say this. I'm not here to establish anyone's innocence or guilt.
What the hell?
I'm not here to say
What the hell? If you guys can hear me, my it's weird, yo. All right, that was weird. I'm gonna clean this up in a minute, though. I'm back. I'm back. One of my devices just kind of did something. But y'all there. I'm gonna try to put Cynthia back up on the line. Damn, maybe my computer, it's a Manosphere computer, but let me see what I can do. Hold on. If you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat. If you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat. Okay. Okay. All right, let me see if I can bring some up now. Yeah, sorry for this inconvenience, but they do happen. Uh-oh, that triple beep ain't good. That triple beep ain't good, but I can still rock it. Here we go. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay. Gonna put this up like this. And all right. Okay, here we go. Back on the screen. Why is she taking up the whole screen though? Oh, okay. There we go. Okay. Let's get Sinji going. Okay.
The internet is in shambles. Celebrities are in shambles. And listen, I'm going to say this. I'm not here to establish anyone's innocence or guilt. I'm not here to say definitively who did what. I don't know Jay Z's character. I don't know Beyonce's character. I can't speak to what.
Can y'all hear? Can y'all hear that? Let me know. Here we go.
They did or did not do. I'm going to put that disclaimer out here now. I don't know Jay Z or Beyonce like that. I know their music. I'm familiar with them as celebrities, but what I am not able to do is speak to the character of Jay Z or Beyonce. I'm not able to speak to what they would or would not do because I don't know. And I think that this is what a lot of the Beehive, why they're so criticized, is because they will act like they know Jay Z and Beyonce personally. And it's like, we don't know any of these people personally. We know them as an artist. We know them as a person who creates content, meaning music, that we like. That's what we know them as. But in terms of knowing their character, knowing what they would or would not do, knowing who they are as a person, knowing what they set their moral standards as, we don't know any of that. And I would never sit up here and pretend that I know Jay Z.
She's got a good point there. She's got a very good point. I mean, really, for real, why are these people get so bent out on people they don't even know? That's a good question.
Diddy or Beyonce. What I do know is that it has been long noted that Jay Z and Diddy are friends. They've been friends. There are videos going around where the one for Jay Z is missing, but there was the same one with Jay Z. If y'all watch Lovely T's video, she mentioned this. So shout out to Lovely T. I literally got this only from her channel. Lovely T put it in her channel that and she played one of the video clips where Diddy is saying, aside from his mother, no one is even able to refer to him as his name, which is Sean Combs. Nobody is able to call him Sean except Jay Z. There was a clip out of an interview that Jay Z did, and I'm doing this to highlight the extent of the friendship. When I initially spoke about this, I said the same thing. Birds of a feather flock together.
There you go. Birds of a feather flock together. Better yet, they roll in packs. Let's keep it going. Here we go.
If Diddy is this degenerate and Jay Z is his best friend, then the reality is, you know, that they are at least similar. They have common interests. Does that mean that because Jay Z was friends with Diddy that he automatically did the same thing? No, but it means it's highly likely that he did. Because again, birds of a feather flock together. People of like mind and of like interest, they tend to hang around each other. We know this.
Now, why is it that logic gets lost in here? Because I don't know, maybe because they got money and we don't. Who knows? Here we go.
Brown said she think Beyonce is being scapegoated. Well, we're gonna see. We're gonna see if she's been scapegoated. I'm telling you. I know Beyonce's fans obviously don't want to think that Beyonce would do any of the anything. I know that people think she's above reproach. And that's fine. I don't know whether she's done anything or not. What I will say is at this point, now that there's a lawsuit, and a lawsuit coming after Jaguar Wright set up on Piers Morgan and said they're a nasty little couple. They do nasty little things. She said that they do things with underage people and that there's a whole laundry list of people waiting to come forward to talk about what Jay Z and Beyonce.
Let me pause right there and say this. I mean, this is, I mean, Jay Z did what, I mean, these guys have historically had an affinity for young ladies at and under the age of 17. Let's face it, they just have. So why is this a surprise? Why is this something to be debated when we've seen it with our eyes? I mean, Aaliyah being one example, but I mean, remember now, Aaliyah was famous, so everybody knew who she was. Do you guys really think Aaliyah was the first, sub, 17 age teenager these guys mess with? It's just hard to believe. I mean, the whole pack, they've all been known. Look, there was Lil Kim, there was Foxy Brown. These were 14 and 15-year-old girls. So how in the world are we ignoring all of the evidence that we've already known about? I think it's because a lot of us have either accepted it or supported it or just ignored it, purposely ignored it. But you can't ignore it. You can't ignore the fact of the matter that these dudes and really hip hop culture in general, but have always had an affinity or a fantasy for underaged young people, not just women, young boys and girls. That's something to really think about.
Jaguar Wright has implemented both of them. Jaguar Wright says she knows that Jay Z and Beyonce are a nasty couple who do nasty things. Now, we can speculate and say that the unnamed woman in the room was J-Lo. It could have been J-Lo, it could have been Beyonce. It could have been either. I don't know who was there. The woman's name hasn't been released. Marsha M said Beyonce is not some powerless woman. Despite Jay allegedly grooming her, she can leave him if she wants to, but she won't. The reality is we don't really know the inner workings of Jay-Z's and Beyonce's relationship, nor do we know the inner workings of Beyonce's relationship with Diddy, nor do we know the inner workings between Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Diddy.
Right.
Because I'm gonna say something too that really was interesting. I was watching a tarot reading on all this, and the person mentioned something really profound and interesting about Jay-Z's 444 album. I'm not saying this is fact. I'm not saying it's true. I'm saying it's a really interesting connection. The way she broke it down is she said that 444 could specifically mean Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Diddy, all who are born on the 4th in the months that they are born in, meaning Beyonce was born September 4th. Jay-Z was born December 4th. Diddy was born November 4th. So you have 444 right there. If you just wanted to look at numerology alone, you would already see 444. 444 is their birthdays, all of them. Beyonce, September 4th, Diddy November 4th, Jay Z December 4th. It just is what it is. Now, this person's theory, and I'm not going to tell you who it is because I'm not about to help people harass this person. I already know how Beyonce's fan base is. So anybody who even asserts that Beyonce has done anything except live in perfection, her fans are gonna get into a frenzy because they think they know her personally. This is why I say some of her friends, I really believe, are the crack baby generation, because you literally do not know this woman. You don't know her personally. You don't know what her sex.
Exactly. In the house, Phoenix Soul is in the house. It's good seeing Phoenix Soul. Well, we're breaking it down with Cynthia G, of course, the way she breaks it down. Angela Reddick's in the house. I mean, it's you know, it's crazy. It's crazy. I thought I was gonna do Steady Bowl again, but I'm gonna never mind. Let me stop doing that. Steady Bowl. Anyway, let me bring you back to Sin G in the house. Here we go.
Sexual kinks are. You don't know what her interests are. You don't know what her moral compass is. You know that she sings and dances exceptionally, not sing. When I say perform, I mean dancing. I don't think Beyonce is an exceptional singer. I think she's a good singer. Do I think she's an exceptional singer? No, I actually think she's quite a basic
Them is fighting words.
singer. I've been said this before. I've been said that I'm not a part of the Beehive. While I do like some of Beyonce's music, I've never been a fan of Beyonce. I've never been a fan of Jay Z. I've never been a fan of Diddy. There is something about them that just did not sit right with my soul. Do I like some of Beyonce's music? Yes. Have I said before any of this happened that I've never been a fan of Beyonce? Yes.
Yeah, I mean, basically, it's like you can acknowledge somebody's musical talents, but they can still be, you know, scumbags. Now, I'm not talking about Beyonce because I don't know, but the other guys have already shown that. If you look past their history, they've already shown that. If a video of a guy kicking a woman on the ground, throwing her to the ground first, then kick her on the ground ain't enough to get him into the scumbag department, then there's basically something wrong with you. Now, on the other hand, Jay Z has messed around with at least one minor that we know of, being Foxy Brown. We know that. We know. And the question is really not about Diddy or Jay Z. It's how did we get to the point where we were supporting and defending monsters so much? Because that has probably kind of like permeated itself in our society, in our culture. So what are we going to do here? That's the question I have
to be a fan of hers to say, do I think that Beyonce would sit and watch a 13-year-old get raped? I don't think she would, but I don't know her. I don't think she would, but I don't know her. I don't know her. So I can't say Beyonce wouldn't sit up and watch a 13-year-old get raped by two men. I don't know her. I would hope she wouldn't. I would hope she wouldn't, because that, to me, that made diabolically evil is what that would mean. But what I will say is that it's looking like Jaguar Wright was right. And it's looking like that when Jay Z decided to have the letter sent to Piers Morgan, it was because they knew he was most likely to comply. It was because they knew that if they initiate a lawsuit against Jaguar Wright, then that will give her the freedom to come forth and prove that what she is saying is true. Now, a lot of people said, oh, why would Jay Z and Beyonce sue Jaguar Wright? She ain't got no money, or lawsuits always about money.
That's true.
Mind y'all, I think it's funny how they all said you sued the platform, but now Megan Thee Stallion is out here suing Milagro and not YouTube. But that's a whole different discussion. We won't get into that now. I want to show y'all these old articles. Do y'all remember this? This is what we was talking about. Because it really is looking like Jaguar Wright was right.
Yeah, I couldn't agree
It's
more. I
looking
mean,
like
I thought she was
Sloan
a little
Bella
bit
was
crazy.
right. Do y'all remember this from October, where it says Diddy faces various new lawsuits? One alleged victims claim he raped her with an unnamed male and female celebrity when she was 13 years old. So this is the original thing that came out, okay? Now, remember that Tony Busby said there is a number of different celebrities that has been connected to these parties. He said there was a number of different celebrities, high-profile celebrities.
I believe it's probably somewhere around at least 300 celebrities, to be honest with you.
What he said is that he will send out letters to these celebrities in an attempt to get them to settle before a lawsuit is publicized. What you saw is that a while back, one of those celebrities decided to sue. One of those celebrities decided to sue. At the time, they were not mentioning this celebrity's name. Okay, so now all these, listen, I'm not gonna go for these publications that simply want to
they got you, Cindy. Those pop-ups right in the middle of the when you try to get information, you know, from a publication. They always do that. That's what they do now. They have gotten so greedy. They won't even leave their own stuff alone.
sit here and try to get you to pay. I'm not gonna pay for a news article. It just ain't gonna happen. I don't know what they think this is. Y'all better get Google to get you some ad revenue just like everybody else doing. But do y'all remember this? Attorney repping several Diddy accusers sued for extortion by unnamed high-profile celebrity. Do y'all remember when we talked about this and we all said that we feel like it was Jay Z? Put a 1 in the chat box if you remember when we went over this. And if you
put a 1 in the chat box, because I think just like I'm on going on my little I told you so tour, I think Cynthia G is going on the same I told you so tour. I think basically we both agree that really we're not sure what's going on with Beyonce, but we know Jay Z's in the mix, and we know Diddy is definitely, playing the record. So that's what we're seeing. And then, I think basically we will never know. To me, we will never know about Beyonce, because if anything, she will be a witness. Let's put it that way. Here we go.
Remember when a lot of us said Jay Z came to mind? Let me read it over. Attorney Tony Busby, who's been instrumental in bringing several cases of sexual assault against Sean Diddy Combs, denies allegations that he attempted to extort a high-profile male celebrity. Attorneys for the public figure, identified anonymously as Don Joe in a lawsuit filed Monday, allege Busby is shamelessly attempting to extort exorbitant sums of money from him with the threat of litigation containing entirely fabricated and malicious allegations of sexual assault, according to court documents obtained by USA Today. So,
let me pause right there. Very good point, Angela. Angela says, yep. If Jay Z does a paternity test and that young man that claims him as his biological father, it will prove that he impregnated his 16-year-old mother, which meant that probably the impregnation started at 15. The question is, why are we accepting it? Why are we accepting it? Why are we accepting it? Let me keep going here.
Y'all remember when we went over this and we all said it's giving Jay Z vibes?
Oh, yeah, straight up.
We said it's giving Jay Z,
which
sending a demand letter is not extortion, nor is it uncommon for an attorney to do.
No, not a bit. When an attorney knows that it's checkmate, or that he has solid evidence to win. The goal is to go ahead and settle quickly for the benefit of everyone involved. It's actually a courtesy. It's actually a courtesy in some ways. Let's keep it going.
Demand letters are actually pretty standard. I've been in lawsuits where they initially started out by sending a demand letter.
You can Google demand letter and get a demand letter template if you want. That's how common they are. But if you're trying to defend, if you're trying to win, not look bad or anything, then I can understand why Diddy and company and Jay Z and company are saying that.
I've been in lawsuits where they send the demand letter first. This is not called extortion. So Jay Z is not going to get away with an extortion claim unless he can prove that the allegations against him are false.
Right.
That's what he would have to prove. To say that this man is extorting him for exuberant amounts of money by sending in a demand letter, he's going to have to prove that the allegations levied against him are false. Now, the reason why Tony Busby said he sends the demand letter to him, mind you, he said some of them did do a payout so that they can remain anonymous. The reason he did that is because these are big name celebrities. So he was giving Jay Z the opportunity to not have his name publicly listed in a lawsuit. That is what the man was doing. Jay Z got offended. Now, listen, Jay Z has every single right to defend himself. Actually, this is what Diddy should be doing if Diddy wants somebody to believe that he's innocent.
Well, it's too late for Diddy. Way too late for the Didster. But yeah, if he was thinking straight at the time, that's what he would have done. Here we go.
So listen, I ain't hating on Jay Z. If Jay Z really feels like Tony Busby is lying on him, then by all means sue Tony Busby. These are some egregious allegations, and we gonna read over. These are some egregious allegations, very damaging to the reputation of anybody that they're levied against, even if they find out later that they're false. We know that even if you find out later that the allegations are false, the allegations alone will ruin a reputation. So for sure, Jay Z should be doing exactly what he's doing if he's innocent. Problem for Jay Z is that it's likely that he ain't innocent. Problem for Jay Z is that we heard Diddy say the same thing, and then a video popped up to corroborate that Diddy is a liar.
Right.
So we know that even when somebody screams innocence, I didn't do anything, I'm guilty of none of these charges, we know that they're lying.
Yep, that's true. That's true.
Far is Beyonce right, they're going to be mad at me. I don't know what that means. Tiara Marie was 13 in 2000. Doe's attorney called the allegations nothing more than a weapon and a calculated plot to destroy his high-profile reputation for profit, despite the complete absence of any factual basis for such claims. Let me say this.
Factual basis, we definitely have some factual basis, because we have Aaliyah, we have Foxy Brown, and those are well-known people. That's probably, come on, let's face it. These dudes have, even Kevin Samuels was saying the shit like, yeah, you should date somebody young. You should date somebody young. Now, they wouldn't say how young all the time, but if they're calling a woman hitting the wall at 30, then you can imagine what age they would start at. You can imagine that. You can imagine what date they would actually would do that. So I don't see what the big deal is. The fact of the matter is they're finally being caught for stuff they've been doing a long time ago. if they were trying to fix their reputation, see, this is the part where if you try to fix your reputation, through more lies or through this, you're just going to make things worse for yourself. And that's what they did, because that's what Diddy tried to do. So I don't get why anybody is not understanding why JC, y'all should have been, I think everybody should have been telling me that, oh yeah, Jay-Z's next. Why wasn't me saying, oh yeah, y'all, Jay-Z's next? I don't know. I don't know if it's Jay-Z. It's Jay-Z's next. He's next. Birds of a feather rock together. It's basically, and you want to know something? It just makes perfect sense, because at the end of the day, grown men having intercourse with young girls in our community is pretty damn common. It's pretty common. So why would you think otherwise? Especially if the guy's famous. You know what I mean? And a mom in the house. So I don't get it. I really don't. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I don't see or understand how you would not think Jay-Z was in the mix. I don't keep a tab on these hip hop moguls or artists as much as I used to. Because my golden years of DJing was in the 90s. That's when, 90. That was when I was doing my thing. After that, I know more about computer parts than I do, who's hot, who's hip hop hot or anything like that. But still, I apparently know more than I thought I did, because, everybody was like, oh my God, Jay-Z, it couldn't be him. I don't get it. I don't get it. We'll probably have a part two of this after I look into what's going on with my other computer. But, I'd like to take a big shout out to my laptop for holding down, But anyway, let me keep it going. Here we go. But I just need to understand that.
Because this statement right here bothers me. Because this statement suggests that an attorney can just sue somebody on Jay-Z's level without a drop of evidence to substantiate it. In order to sue Google, you have to get permission from the court. You cannot just go sue Google. You can't just go file a lawsuit against Google. You have to get permission from the court to clear it.
Right.
Jay-Z is not an ordinary person. Jay-Z ain't Joe Blow walking up the street. Jay-Z, number one, has an enormous amount of fame and celebrity. He has an enormous amount of money, and he has an enormous amount of influence. He is connected to probably some of the most famous people that you ever seen and have not seen. So to suggest that Tony Busby just decided to pull Jay-Z's name out of a hat and file a lawsuit against him is retarded.
It pretty much is. There has to be. Remember now, Tony Busby has a reputation to defend as well. So he's just not going to take the word of anybody and take the case of anybody. And the thing is this: even if he thought the case was, what would you call it, legit, he may not just think it has enough, evidence, like videos or emails or stuff like that, for him to make it, for it to be worth his while. It might take too long to win the case, or there's too much conflict in there, or the witness or the victim is a little bit shaky, meaning that they might be hard to find all the time, or that all of those things matter.
John Doe is Jay Z. We now know John Doe is Jay Z. That's who John Doe is. The person suing Tony Busby is Jay Z. Now, we already know when this anonymous man said he was going to sue Tony Busby responded, and he said he's not going to be bullied. Now, Jay Z has responded, Diddy's attorneys have responded, and Tony Busby has responded too.
And it's funny because I feel like the point of Jay Z wanting to sue is to keep his name out of Busby's mouth. But now he just gave Busby a reason to put it in his mouth. I mean, not really in an illegal form, but in a way, it's like basically Jay Z just basically, what's the best way of me putting this? He dry snitched on himself. He dry snitched on himself. That's basically it.
We're going to go over all of that because this was already predicted by the same person who predicted the downfall of Diddy, Sloan Bella. She said by 2026, Jay Z won't have any more power. His reign will be over. I know she accidentally said 36, but we know she meant 2026. So this has already been predicted. And I think that what's going to happen is a lot of people are going to start seeing their favorite celebrities in a different light because regular public likes to build up emotional attachments to people that they do not know, people who are celebrities. And so I think y'all need to be open to Beyonce possibly being that woman in that room. What y'all gonna do? What are y'all gonna do if Beyonce is this woman in the room? I think y'all need to start preparing your mindset for this, especially if you are a Beyonce fan. You need to fix your mind on the possibility that Beyonce is the unnamed woman in here who was watching, allegedly, a 13-year-old get raped by two grown-ass men, both of them who are now currently over a half of 100. While Jay Z's out here calling himself a young man, although he's literally over half of 100. We won't get into that, but what we are going to get into is these allegations here, though. Because remember, there was the allegations. It says, according to one of the lawsuits, the alleged victim, who has been identified as Jane Doe, claims that Diddy and an unnamed male and female celebrity raped her when she was 13 years old. In the suit, Jane Doe says she tried to attend the MTV VMAs on September 7th. However, she didn't have a ticket to get inside. She reportedly approached a limousine driver who allegedly worked for Diddy at the time, and she was taken to an after party.
Wow, that was the worst thing that happened to her. Dang it. Ladies and gentlemen, watch your kids, your teen kids, because, they're blue-eyed and brown-eyed and bushy-tailed, and you don't want them to walk themselves into danger.
Party, she signed a non-disclosure agreement and was offered a drink. 13-year-olds cannot engage in any form of a contract. An NDA is a contract, so I don't even think that this NDA would apply. This is the 13-year-old girl. She's 13. So you having a 13-year-old sign an NDA, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think a 13-year-old signed in an NDA makes a valid NDA. I mean,
no, it doesn't. There's no way in God's earth that. That's why they're called minors, and that's why a parent has to sign. There's nothing a 13-year-old I can think of can sign for that would be legit. I mean, they can't even have their own bank account without their parents or somebody signing. No. So if the fact that if that was legally in the documentation that the 13-year-old signed an NDA, whoever thought about doing that and putting that into the case, they should be fired. That is just absolutely. And there's just nothing. A 13-year-old is a 13-year-old. It's not like, 17 and 3/4 and at midnight they turn 18. We're not even close to that at all. We're talking about 13, 1-3. There is nothing you can do with that you can say that they had to even sign. The fact that they made her sign an NDA makes them even look more guilty. That's the crazy part. They should have told her to go home, or gave her a ticket and let her just out of the goodness of their hearts, just let her, give her a ticket, and let her enjoy the concert. I mean, she would have told everybody about it, been excited, been on YouTube and everything, or Facebook, telling everybody, oh yeah, they showed me love, and they would have made their money back on that ticket. But if this is indeed true, they showed hip hop, which to me is now just a form of predatory behavior. That's how I see it. Most of it, not all of it, but a whole lot of it. Here we go.
I wish Themis was here, I would ask him. But I'll ask him later. But I don't think that I don't think this NDA is gonna hold up if a 13-year-old signed it.
Yeah.
Jess said people want Beyonce to be demonic so bad. I don't think anybody wants Beyonce to be demonic. I think they know that they don't know Beyonce personally. I think that they know that Beyonce is married to Jay Z. So at some point, Beyonce had to be involved in something that Jay Z was doing. This is his wife. I don't think people want Jay Z, Beyonce to be evil. And I think this is what I say when I say this is why Beyonce's fans get so much criticism. This is why they get so much criticism. This is why they get called crack babies. This is why they get called delusional. Nobody wants Beyonce to be evil. And even if somebody wanted Beyonce to be evil, it wouldn't make her be evil unless she chose to be it. The reality is you have a man here, Beyonce's husband, Jay Z, implicated in a sexual assault and an unnamed female celebrity. Why are you acting like it's far-fetched to suggest that Jay Z's wife attended him at a freak-off, basically?
Yeah.
Like this delusional mentality of, oh, people just want Beyonce to be demonic so bad. Do you know Beyonce personally? Please come up here and tell us how you know Beyonce personally. Are you her family member? Are you her best friend? Are you one of her confidants? Do she include you in the group chats? How do you know what Beyonce does or does not do? Like, this is silly.
It's a strong argument, but and this should not just apply to Beyonce, but other people who could be how you may see as famous or impressive or whatever. Why did you give them your trust when it comes down at the end of the at the end of the day? Why would you give them your trust? Why would you give them your trust? What did they do in an interaction with you that made you feel that way?
Why would anybody want Beyonce to sit and watch a 13-year-old get raped? This is why I mean certain people are stupid. This is why I say certain people are just dumb. Why would anybody want Beyonce to be that person? Why? I think I can confidently say no one wants Beyonce to be this unnamed female celebrity. I think
no, I don't. I sure don't. I really don't. I'm telling you, I really don't. I really hope it's not her. I really hope it's not her. You just don't understand how much, I want it not to be her. A lot. Let's keep it going here we go.
Everybody would prefer that it's J-Lo because people don't like J-Lo anyway. So if you had to pick between the likelihood of it being Beyonce and J-Lo,
J-Lo is a pretty strong argument as well, because J-Lo has already expressed a level of support or ride or die for Diddy. I'm not saying J-Lo is an evil or a mean person, but what I'm saying is that she did display a level of ride or die by holding Diddy's gun. You know, that's not something to take lightly. Could she have been dingy and said, "Oh, I'll hold your gun for you"? I don't know, but the fact of the matter is, I know it sounds like I'm flip flopping, but I got to show the facts here. Okay, we know that J-Lo, brandished weapons for Diddy, but we don't really know that, Beyonce did. We don't. It's not that we can't say that she did or didn't. Let's put it that way. We have to say that she didn't right now because we never seen her brandish a weapon for Diddy, while J-Lo, it's in the court records that she brandished a weapon for Diddy. So if you want to argue, if the Bayhive wants to argue, there's your argument right there. But we will soon find out, though. That's what I know.
I promise you, most people want it to be J-Lo. I promise you, don't nobody want to envision Beyonce sitting in a room.
Quite honestly, I don't want it to be either one.
A 13-year-old get raped. I don't even want to envision J-Lo doing it. I don't want to envision any woman doing it.
Right.
I don't even want to see, like, the notion of a woman, a womb bearer, who grows and creates life in her womb. The notion of that person sitting and watching a 13-year-old get violated is disgusting. I promise you, don't nobody want to see Beyonce in that position.
Right.
So you can get your fanatic ass out of here, getting triggered, because no matter how much we don't want that to be Beyonce, if it's Beyonce, it's Beyonce. We don't control that.
Yeah, and let me make it clear. I am not defending Beyonce in any sense of the word, but for the sake of our culture and the community, I hope to God it's not her. I will say that much. Just for that would just be very, very, very. It's already bad enough that Diddy's doing this shit, and that it turns out that, as I expected before and predicted before, Jay Z's definitely in the mix. And the problem with Jay Z was always known as a smarter one of the two, of Diddy and Jay Z, when it came to legal situations and things like this. Well, except with the exception of hanging out with Aaliyah and leaving a breadcrumbs and whatnot back in the day with with Foxy Brown. He was supposed to be the quiet, smart one. Might be just as bad as Jaguar Wright said, but was always the smarter one. Now he's starting to. Now there's going to be an argument made for that, because it sounds like to me, as soon as this is going, because if you notice, really, Jay Z is really where Diddy was last year this time. Where you started hearing the rumors, and now it's like most of the people were like, oh, they're gold digging, they're in for the money, whatever, whatnot, so on and so forth. But then we see where Diddy is now. Remember, like last year or before that Cassie, the infamous elevator tape came out, everybody was dogging the heck out of Cassie, even afterwards, but a lot before, right? Remember? Everybody was calling her a liar and all this other stuff. I'm just waiting for the tape. And you want to know something? The feds might already have it. The feds might already have it. And that's why I think Busby is so being so brazen, is because he's like, look, Fed's seen it. But the feds probably thought, okay, well, we need a witness for this one. And they put, and like most assaults like this, you know, the victims are probably like 50-50. Half of them will do it, half of them won't. Because they're so scared of the assailant, they're going to do what they think is safe, which is not to make the assailant any more angry than they are. That doesn't usually work, but that's the thinking. Let me get this in the mix.
And we also need to go over Beyonce's new album. She's snitching on herself a lot, looking for sympathy. Beyonce is an example of tell me who your friends are and I'll tell you who you are. Birds of a feather flock together. I'm sure she knew something. It's usually not typical that a wife don't know anything that their husband is doing, or they don't accompany anything that their husband go to. Like, this is silly. This is silly. If Jay Z is implicated, you can best believe Beyonce is implicated in something.
All right. Yeah, Jackie is correct. Jackie Gaines says, let's keep DJ Torch in the algorithm. Don't forget to like and subscribe because it ain't no job. Yeah, but yeah, all it takes is just a click on that thumbs up button. That would really help. Anyway, then Angela Reddick said, there really are female monsters out here. They are the same type of women that sell and pimp out their own children or let their husbands GRAPE their children. And if you remember that Kevin Samuels video that I've played quite often because I needed to make sense, where he's literally trying to groom a young mother into allowing the man that she would potentially marry touch her daughter. Remember that one? I know you all remember. I know I don't have to bring back the stacks of wax on that. I'm just gonna let that sit because we're not talking about him right now. Even though I guarantee you, KS, you think he wouldn't have gone to a Diddy party and participated? Mr. Six, what did he say? Yeah, 6 women on 1099s in rotation. He was a broken man, a very broken man. I don't see how y'all didn't see that. I think that's probably one of our weaknesses in this community is that when somebody's broken, you got to just leave them broken and leave them alone. That's all I got to say about that. But here we go. I'm going to bring up a lawyer to break it down. A lawyer to break it down. The one, the only, Pam Esquire. Here we go.
This is not the first time defendants, which you're saying is the attorneys in the law firm, have been involved in an extraordinary scheme to extract money from high-profile individuals by threatening baseless legal actions. Just 3 years ago, the FBI...
Remember now, Diddy was saying Cassie's allegations were baseless. Well, she hit a home run. That's for sure. So she can't be, it wasn't that baseless. The thing is that it's funny how people say baseless and it ain't baseless.
Extortion investigation in connection with defendants' clients' pursuit of football player Deshaun Watson for allegations of sexual misconduct. According to Watson's then attorney, the FBI investigated, quote, whether one of the Busby claimants against Watson had committed extortion in a way that they were demanding money or what they would do if he didn't pay up, end quote. Ultimately, the criminal cases defendant threatened to pursue against Watson were rejected by 2 separate grand juries and were never criminally prosecuted. Further, evidence that the baseless sexual misconduct claims in defendant's demand letter would not have held up in a civil court either. As an example of how the defendants used the media as a weapon to further exert pressure on his high-profile targets, Busby publicly proclaimed that he would submit affidavits from the alleged victims to police, but he never did. Defendants have also taken up representations against high-profile individuals who were targeted or set up by individuals seeking a payday. For example, defendants brought suit against rappers Yella Breezy and Chris Brown after 4 men snuck backstage to provoke them into an altercation. In addition to shaking down high-profile individuals with dubious claims he knows will not stand up in court, Busby often employs unscrupulous litigation tactics after filing suit. In one notable case, a federal court invalidated a referral agreement between Busby and a known fact witness in the case, which entitled the witness to 15% of the gross attorney's fees awarded if the plaintiff was victorious. The court held that such agreements were invalid as a matter of public policy and prohibited Busby from paying the witness any fees. Typically, referral fees have to be among attorneys. So if just a lay person comes or a witness comes and that you trying to make an agreement, it's not really valid. They don't have to pay you anything. And another unscrupulous move to get a case heard in a favorable venue, Busby submitted venue pleadings and a client affidavit characterized at best incorrect and at worst fraudulent. After the defendant's counsel notified Busby's firm that his client misrepresented facts that affected.
What you're hearing is Pam reciting, I guess, Jay Z's defense, which sounds like it's a circumstantial thing. And I understand they're trying to make Busby look bad and therefore get some type of would be the quickest result or quickest way to do this. The problem is that the victim could just hire another lawyer. You think another lawyer is not going to take this case? Let's say they make Busby look bad. So what? So what? The problem with this, maybe this is just a part of the, the case or the facts that they're trying to express. But this does not not in any way show any type of, how should we put it? It doesn't make it actually, the fact that they're attacking Busby like this, to me, in my opinion, makes it seem like he knows he's guilty. Jay Z knows he's guilty, but since the plaintiff hired a crooked attorney, then he's going to win, or all he's going to do is force her to get whoever this person is to get another attorney. Might be another attorney who's referred through Busby, but it doesn't have to be Busby. There are attorneys lining up for stuff like this because they know the pockets are deep. Is Busby aggressive? Yeah, he's aggressive. As far as, whatever tactics you can call it or not, but he hasn't had his license revoked or anything like that. So, oh well.
The trial court's venue determination, Busby unilaterally non-suited the case and refiled a substantially similar case in another favorable venue. For those of you just coming in, I am reading.
By the way, lawyers do that all the time.
What has triggered Jay Z's name being filed in this lawsuit? Okay, make sure you hit the like button now, because we got a lot to go over.
Make sure you hit the like button, not only on my channel but on Pam's channel. Here we go.
I haven't even got to the lawsuit yet. I'm just trying to give the pre-show.
Oh shit!
Busby has also allegedly used his connections when navigating the judicial system for his personal benefit and a criminal case brought against him. Busby was arrested in March of 2016 for driving while under the influence. But Harris County District Attorney
Again, this is great. You know, this might even work. Jay Z might be able to get rid of Busby. But again, a lawsuit is a lawsuit. You know, you see what I'm saying? Do y'all hear what I'm saying here? Busby's not an idiot. The case has some bite to it, and he knows it. Now, will his reputation be a liability? It quite possibly could. But all the litigant has to do is hire some attorneys that are more legit, per se. As an argument, I'm not saying Busby's not are legit, but what I am saying is that technically, if they're trying to say that Busby is not a legitimate attorney and he has some tactics that are fraudulent, well, then all this person has to do is hire somebody who's legitimate. Then what? All this is probably, I don't know, $1 million, $2 million, $3 million case file, argument, whatever it is, wasted. Because all the other person what has to do is just not use Busby. You think somebody is not going to pick this up? The lawyer, they may not have as much money as Busby, but they're picking this shit up. You think they're not? We know this about Busby. He's not going to pick up somebody who he doesn't think was assaulted, because that's just a waste of time. He's got 200 people to choose from. Why would he choose this person who was 13 years old, right? Why would you? Why would you do that? Why would you risk even your time aside of your license and all that other stuff? You just wouldn't do it. But maybe Busby's just the wrong person to try this case for this litigant. All Busby's going to do, let's say all of Busby's cases, right? I guarantee you not. He's probably selling them off right now. Because he's got more than he needs. I mean, all he needs is a couple cases to make, 50 billion, million, not billion, but 50 million or whatever, right? So he can buy another house or whatever, right? He can give all the other ones out to somebody else. They can be buying. They might be buying these cases from him. They see the paperwork. Paperwork looks really good. They got evidence. They got facts. They got, there might be some of these people who are better seen in other different courts that maybe Busby doesn't hang in. You never know. You never know.
Anderson personally dismissed the case after Busby completed pretrial intervention. So basically, the anonymous person was just filed a lawsuit just telling you how jacked up Busby was, alleging, according to him. I ain't saying you jacked up Busby. That's what he's saying. How jacked up this attorney is, and just some of the tactics and trying to disparage who this individual attorney is and his firm.
Right.
The dismissal raised significant concerns because having the DA sign off on the dismissal was exceedingly rare. So now they're alleging he had a DUI, but because he was cool with the DA, he ended up getting it dropped.
Okay,
the pretrial intervention program generally lasts a year.
That happens all the time. People get to hook up. But the fact of the matter is that just because Busby, let's be mean, Busby is a drunk sometimes, for the sake of argument, by the way, doesn't mean, one, he's not a good lawyer. Number two, it doesn't mean that he's it doesn't do anything. So I guess it seems like to me they're just trying to, to make Busby look bad. And the only reason I can think that is they're trying to dissuade his client. Because the courts, they're going to take it into account. They're going to take that into account. They know Busby probably better than Jay Z does. The courts, they do. But at the same time, facts are facts. And that's just the facts.
Why Busby case was dismissed after 8 months. That's not that. Come on now. And there did not appear to be a formal contract for the DWI pretrial diversion program in Busby's file. Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner used the controversial dismissal as part of a political attack at a mayor turned successful defense against Busby, run for mayor in 2019, accusing lawyers from Busby firm of donating to District Attorney Anderson while Busby's DWI case was pending. Earlier in his career, Busby was selected to serve as briefing attorney.
Okay, I'm going to pause it there. Well, we can get past Busby. We've heard enough about Busby. The buzz. Let's see where we're at.
Seems appropriate, but they did say reside in Los Angeles, which caused a lot of people to try to guess, who are they talking about? And some people guess Jay Z. And if you guess Jay Z, then apparently you are right. Okay. So this is the lawsuit that I believe sparked a lot of this. And then once this lawsuit was filed, what did Busby do? Hold on, let me pull up his Busby. See if it's still up here. Tony Busby said what he was going to do. And oh, he took it down. I think he took it down. Oh man, he took it down. Let me see how much.
Dang, he took it down.
Let's see.
Let me fast forward.
Sexual assault survivors. It has been reported that a lawsuit has been filed against my firm claiming extortion. The lawyers that filed it also immediately called TMZ in an apparent effort to silence those who allege sexual assault. Here's the deal. The case filed against my firm is not only without legal merit, it is laughable. Ha ha ha. Here's why. On behalf of two clients who allege sexual assault, we sent a standard demand letter to a New York lawyer that we know represents an alleged perpetrator and potential defendant. The letters were sent seeking a confidential mediation in lieu of filing a lawsuit. No amount of money was included in the demand letter. No threats were made. The demand letters sent are no different than the ones routinely sent by lawyers across the country in all types of cases. It is obvious that the frivolous lawsuit filed against my firm is an aggressive attempt to intimidate or silence me and ultimately my clients. That effort is a gross miscalculation.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I don't think Busby is 100%, but you know, he's in the mix with. I mean, this is the life of law. This is the life of law.
A U.S. Marine. I won't be silenced or intimidated. Neither will my clients. Since our professional efforts at resolution obviously have failed, we will instead disclose the demand letters we sent at the time we filed suit. Abuse of the legal system unfortunately runs rampant. The lawsuit filed against my firm is a prime example of that. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. I have confidence that with full public disclosure, all of this will sort itself out. So that was from Busby. That was his response to this lawsuit. If you just came in, that we just went over. Let's see if there was anything else. So they go over the jurisdiction. Okay. Defendants used their representation of Diddy.
Let me stop it right there for a second too. The fact that the way that Jay Z retaliated is a very, very narcissistic trait. They love to retaliate in kind. And what I mean is that if somebody, you know, sues them, a narcissist will often try to sue you back, even though they have no evidence and no reason to do it. They're very petty. narcissists are very petty. They're very bitter. They're very vindictive. And I believe Jay Z is going to run into a problem where this type of narcissism that he's, in my opinion, by the way, because I'm not a doctor, but the type of narcissism I believe he's expressing will backfire on him. Because the problem is that he was going to be so angry, he's going to force his attorneys to lie for him, and that may not work out well.
Off a campaign of threats and harassment against others affiliated with Diddy. On September 16th, Diddy was arrested and charged with racketeering, trafficking by force, and transportation for purposes of prostitution. On September 17, 2025, the indictment charging Combs was unsealed, revealing allegations that for decades, Combs threatened and coerced women and others around him to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. The Combs indictment
literally the majority of the hip hop artists, but let's keep it going.
Further alleges that Combs relied on the employees, resources, and influences of the multifaceted business. We know all about this indictment. Okay, the Combs.
You know, it reminds me that this description mine reminds me of a little bit. It reminds me of Ernesto, if you guys remember that situation with Ernesto and Sonia and all. They really all have the same pattern, if you noticed.
The indictment does not mention any actual misconduct by other celebrities or high-profile individuals. Still, Combs' arrest and indictment set off a media frenzy with coverage by all major news outlets.
Let me pause that because we've been there. So what do y'all think? I mean, what do y'all think what's going on here? Do you think Jay Z, do you think Jay Z is in big trouble? Do you think the same thing that happened with Diddy will happen with Jay Z? And what are your thoughts about Beyonce? Let me know. Let me know in the chat or in the comments for sure. Hold on one second here. Okay, I gotta save. Let me give you a little clip of what's going to be going on tomorrow. Little clip of what's going on tomorrow. Here we go.
I'm not a bad person. I'm not an evil person.
31-year-old Dioba Redden pleads for leniency before a judge sentences him for this. An attack on District Court Judge Mary Kay Holthus as she sentenced him.
I'm not a bad person.
In January on a charge of attempted battery. Redden running up and jumping over Holthus's bench.
Let's think about this for a minute. And we're going to be going on over this tomorrow probably as well. Well, no, we won't. We won't. Not tomorrow, but on another day. But think about this guy. He's literally thinking he's a good person. And all he's done all his life is beat up women. Seriously, if you listen to his court, I've listened to his court cases, and he's literally beat up on literally a woman a year since he was like 20. He's beat on the average a woman a year, and he was still out there in the community. That's why you think Jay Z and you think that, Diddy are one-offs or straight. No, this is what's up. This is where we are now. This is where we are now, where men can beat up women and it takes like 15 years to get them off the street. You all gotta understand that's kind of messed up. I mean, don't think about women in general, fellas. Think about your mom or your sister or your loved one getting beat up and then getting away with it. And, I mean, not only getting away with it, but getting away with it easily. I mean, like, oh, we'll put him in a program. Oh, we'll put him in a program. Oh, no, let's give him another chance. Let's give him another chance. Oh yeah, because the law enforcement's been hard on me. Law enforcement's been hard on me. So what if I beat the crap out of her? That's what this dude did. He literally is a mugger. Back in the day, way back in the day, of the gangster times, there was men who they called muggers, and all they did was beat up people. And I will say this about Redden, he did beat up some men too, even before this. But he beat up a whole lot of women. And I didn't see nobody in the red pill community or the hip hop community denouncing this dude. That's how I know y'all in the mix with him. Birds of a feather flock together. Better yet, they all roll in packs. They all roll in packs. Let me play a little bit later. Here we go.
I'm not making excuses for my actions. I'm saying I'm not a bad person. And I know that I did not intend to kill Mary Kay Holthus. I know I cared about her well-being.
Holthus and a courtroom marshal both injured in the attack, leading prosecutors to charge Redden with attempted murder. During trial in September, Redden agreed to plead guilty, with the stipulation he's mentally ill.
I saw nothing but red, and I don't remember doing anything except...
This is the funny thing. I have seen men just like this on YouTube making a mockery of mental health. Oh, y'all don't want to go. Remember when they were dissing the woman who was a mental health practitioner for not wanting to deal with black men because of this or because of their vitriol? And then they proved her point by displaying even more vitriol towards her. Now he's crazy. When he's looking at 20 years in prison, now he's saying his mental health is bad. You see what's going on here? It's always when it's too late. It's always when it's too late. It's always when they find out, ladies and gentlemen. It's always when they F around and find out. Ladies and gentlemen, it is FAFO season. And Redden, Jay Z, Diddy, and more are going to find out this year. This in 2025. Oh man, it's going to be popping. Because if you keep effing around, you keep finding out. You find out things you don't want to. You find out that you're going up for 20 years. Redden, let's see. Here we go. Let's hear it.
Her jumping on top of her and doing this to her robe. I was like, why are you doing this to me? That's what I wanted to ask her if I think I know.
Okay, he just said he jumped over her and grabbed her by the robe to ask her, why are you doing this to me? The problem is, if you watch the video, it's his fist doing the talking. It is his fist doing the talking. The same fist that has been doing the talking on other women for over 15 years. More like 20 probably. And bro, I hope you get the help you need. I really do. But you're going to the place you need to be. That's just the way. You've been out there too long. I don't know how many women you damaged. Who knows who you might how many unsolved mysteries are out there because of you. You are in the place to be, and I shouldn't be the only man saying this. But we got people out there. We got people out, but we got people out there. Stedamo, defending men like this. Yep, that's what's up. Stedamo, where you at? Stedamo. Well, everybody, it's that time. Whew, it's been a long day for me, but I'm back. I'll see everybody tomorrow. It's on tomorrow, probably not Sunday, probably Tuesday as well, but tomorrow for sure. Another show. So let me get the beat ready to go. Got to get my shout outs. I'd like to thank everyone for hanging in there through my technical difficulties as well. Shout out to Jackie Gaines. Thank you for your support, Jackie, and your help. Thank you. It's not hard to fool me. Angela Reddick. Angela Reddick says, unfortunately, the judicial system is rather lenient with these abusers, and are allowed to stay in the community until they take away your life. And that's why I was like, when people say, oh yeah, it's hard against me, man, it's hard against me. I don't know, dude. I don't know. All right. Shout out to Phoenix SOL, Soul in the house. Phoenix, I'm going to be having some more live streams about, music artists. You know I'm going to need your help. You got that knowledge in the voice. Also, in the house, Indiana Mom.